What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again, and welcome back to Arca Scans, where we go over this week's potential movers directly from my scanner. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called Arca Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, so we are looking at Bloom Energy Corporation here, ticker symbol BE on the 12-hour chart. Please notice that we have a 2.65 billion market cap with 178.95 million share float. All right, you guys, so this is not that big of a risky play, right? So I want to just go ahead and point it out right here because it does have a pretty nice valuation at about $12.72, currently sitting at what could be a potential bottom of this broadening descending wedge. By the way, happy Mother's Day to everybody. I'm actually just escaping the Mother's Day event just so I can come back to the community and give a little bit back right before we get this week started. Okay, you guys. So I want to go ahead and focus on the shorter time frame for ticker symbol BE, as I would like to present more of some short-term, type of opportunities instead of the longer swing plays and investment plays, right? So let's go ahead and dive right back into the 30-minute chart, okay? And let's go ahead and now notice a few things here, okay? So what we want to see is if there is a potential for an immediate short-term downside, and it looks like there could be a very, very small, slim window of opportunity here to kind of open position somewhere, right? And that is right within the 15-minute time frame, right? As you can see, the stochastic momentum with a slight downside pivot. And please notice here that the RSI signal, represented by the purple line, is at that gravitational zone, which we can be pushed down, but we do have that 14-day simple moving average right down there for support. Okay, so this is what I mean that it could be a very short opportunity here to kind of gain some type of position, right? So in this case, let's see what those relevant targets can be. Actually, you know what? Let's just go ahead and continue with the time frame analysis here and then make a conscious decision over that, right? So now let's look at the hourly time frame and see what we have in store for ticker symbol BE. Okay, so a little bit of consolidation here. Please notice the very, very small, minute detail here on the 14-day simple moving average, which is suggesting just a little bit of consolidation. That means that if we are close to that gravitational zone of the bear strength percentile, there is a little bit of a risk that we can face a short-term downside before a continuation to the upside. I would like to express, however, that the MACD is facing to the upside and we are having a money flow input, right? So there's an inbound of disbursement of returns, so meaning that there is inflow of cash, right? So the stochastic momentum 3-period exponential moving average, represented by this yellow line, is slightly curved towards the let me just go ahead and open this like this, right? So it's slightly curved to the downside, right? This is the leading indicator since it is the shorter time frame moving average, right? So that shows us that there could be a little bit of an ebb and flow here before we can continue on to the upside, and that is essentially that opportunity that we're looking for, right? So regarding the short-term time frame, 30-minute, we can already see where some of those targets can be for a potential long, right? So, for example, here at around 1265 could be one opportunity there, right? And it does have kind of a range to take note of, right? Which would be actually it would be right here, right? So around two different ranges. All right, so yeah, the actually, you know what, it would be a total range of 1252 to 1265, and yeah, so I can go ahead and draw it just like this. And I try not to have these plays ready for when I talk to you. I want you to kind of see how I'm putting it together, so that in the event where you catch something that I didn't catch, then you know how to make you know how to make the appropriate moves following that, right? So yeah, this is the range that I'm kind of taking a look at here as far as a long opportunity, right? The more obvious targets for the upside, of course, are going to land right at about that 1321. So we can leave kind of a trend line here just so that we can know that is a potential there, but this could be a very small area of resistance. The actual range of the upside that I would be looking for, you guys, would honestly be right at about here, 1364 to about 1384. Okay, so now this is particularly to the hourly time frame, right? So I just want you to kind of know that, right? So if we were to pick up, say, for example, from this area here, let's just say that we were doing it from the top side let's just start measuring our metrics, right? So this would be a 4-spot 5% scalp, and this would be about a 7% scalp, and to the top side here would be almost a 10% scalp, right? 9.5%. So this does present a pretty nice short-term opportunity, right? Of course, there could be a continuation to the upside here, even still, and I'll tell you why. Now, going into the bi-hourly time frame, please notice here that this thing actually didn't set the way I wanted. There we go. Okay, yeah. So please notice here, I'm going to make this bigger. Notice that volatility is starting to contract and momentum is starting to show an upside bias. Okay, so this is usually when a statistical move is in play and usually favors the upside. So the bulls would be in control here. Okay, notice now, pardon me. Notice now that the MACD on the bi-hourly is actually prepping its cross above the MACD line. Above the moving average, right? So this is good, and we have a significant decrease in bear pressure. Also, we have the disbursement of returns inbound. Cash coming in right here. So this is looking mighty strong. All right, a slight upside pivot here on that bi-hourly RSI with an upside pivot on that 14-day simple moving average that can only lead to potential upside coming in very soon. Okay, you guys. So 4-hour time frame on volatility versus momentum. It looks like we're just about that oversold area where we can start making that pivot. So in other words, the 30-minute, let's see, actually the hourly, right? Yeah, the hourly in combination with the bi-hourly, with the upside pivots here and contraction, right? And MACD starting to cross, that could be our signal that we are starting to correct. Another thing here is, please notice that the curvatures here on the MACD are starting to kind of happen, right over here. You can see that it's happening, and also we're losing that bear strength. So that bottom may be in shortly, okay? Maybe in very soon. All right, so let's just go ahead and get out of this window here. And now let's move on to the 8-hour chart and see what we have, right? Yeah, so the 8-hour chart also looks pretty bottomed here on stochastics, right? We're already getting that upside pivot. We're definitely a critical expansion here, which mathematically speaking, it is programmed to continue on to the upside after expanding so critically here, right? It's only a matter of time before we start decompressing, and 8-hour RSI is still pivoted towards that upside. Now, please notice that we do have that 14-day simple located right up here. That could be indicative of this next thing that I'm going to tell you. It could be indicative of this gap top. All right. So now I can add some averages here to see. Yeah. Please notice here that the SMA 10 is well on its way down. So which only means that we probably have, I'm not sure if we actually have the EMAs showing here, but let me just go ahead and see if we have any of them under. Yeah, there we go. So we definitely do. Okay, so I can see a continuation right to the downside to kind of accumulate in this area, and then we can make a continuation to the upside to potentially find that resistance at about 1420, right where the EMA 7 will be located eventually, potentially by the end of the day tomorrow, or near the end of the day. So this could be a day trade, right? So now this would actually be my modification here. 14. Wow, come on. Let's do it. What's going on here? There we go. All right. So yeah, just about 1420, 1419 would be that essential top side resistance, right, you guys? So 1367, of course, just like this, right? So 1351 to 1419 could be a massive area of resistance, but it's when we have a gap like this, you guys, it's very likely that we can find the resistance from that gap to come back down and test our current highs before a continuation to the upside. I'm not interested in the swing play. I'm interested from the play from this area here to that resistance of that gap and done. If it does take a little, over a day, then so be it, right? This is not a speculative play. It is definitely safe. So from the top side of this trend line here to the top side, to the bottom side of the gap, that now presents a 12% gainer, which is a pretty good opportunity right here, you guys. So please remember, first and foremost, that I am not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Okay, you guys, I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, I wish you well, a very good rest of your happy Mother's Day, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.